What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to go over something that I've been thinking for a while. Get you guys to understand. Get you guys to understand a little something. All right. All I see on here is everybody trying to be swole as hell, male and female. I see the CrossFitters. The women look about as massive as can be. They look pretty much like a guy. And the guys, they got these alligator arms about 2 inches long. Now, I'm not knocking what you want to be. Do whatever you want. Be whatever you want. Listen, I don't care. It's not me. And that's all honesty. What I do want you guys to understand is you need to ask yourself, why are you doing this? For what purpose? Now, if you're doing it because it's some kind of a thing that you're going to make money from, like an athlete, not that qualifies it and makes it better, but there's a real purpose behind it. If you're doing it just to be swole for the sake of being swole and use all your money to buy food, because that's what it takes to generate that type of muscle mass, then that's you. That's you. Do whatever you want. My thing is this. You are pretty much going a route that doesn't have health as your primary target. You're going around a route that is based on ego and looks. Now, I'm not knocking looking good either, or whatever we consider to be good. What I'm saying is that the body is designed for functionality to do certain things, such as run, hunt, fight, climb, lift things, do whatever you need to do to survive. If you look at a Navy SEAL, for example, they go through a lot of stuff, and they'll probably kill you without blinking. It's easy for them. Whatever they do becomes easy for them. And most of them don't look like you guys. The ones that I've encountered look about as normal can be. So I'm trying to figure out if the top of the top tier that can protect everybody looks like average Joe for the most part. They got some muscles because they got to carry a lot of pack and a lot of stuff, but they're not fully yoked out like you guys are. So I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose? What is the functionality of what you're doing? Now, it's not for me to say, once again, do you be yoked out? If you think it's intimidating, it may be for some people. For people like me, not really, because we understand that that's a facade. So the guys who are dangerous are the SEAL types. You'll never know. They're not running around being yoked out. They're just dangerous, period. They can run you down. They can outlast you. They have conditioning. They have mental strength. They have all the things that really matter. Not this yoked out, massive look that you got to eat all the time. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, do you, because that's your sport and you want to make money from it and do whatever you want. But don't, the young kids coming up, don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. I know you look at that and you want to be that and you see it because it's impressive. And it is. It's impressive how the body can develop itself. Same with the CrossFitters. Yeah, it's impressive. You guys, wow, you have that look. But in all honesty, you're not functional in the real sense of being functional. Okay? They're throwing these words around, functionality and all that. You guys don't know what that is. You really don't. You have no real understanding of what that is. You've got to be able to move fluidly. You're too yoked out. Your arms are out to the side. Your neck is up into the traps too much. You're just muscle bound. Let's put it that way. So I'm saying this more for the young kids or for the youth that's coming up that, listen, even for the young athletes, stop worrying about building so much muscle and being so massive. Focus on functionality. How does your body move? How much weight can your body take? How much weight can your body move around effectively? Okay? Get denser muscles that are fluid and flexible. Don't get these big, massive bubble muscles just so you look a certain way. And this thing of lifting weights, I teach training using weights and different apparatus to build the body to be stronger, to do whatever it needs to do. Not lifting weights for the sake of lifting weights to say, hey, I have this long bar, metal bar with some weights on the side that I can press up or squat up or squat. That's not reality, all right? You use that as a tool from time to time to develop your body, but it's not the end all. You've got to understand this. I mean, seriously, you got to really get this. The strongest guy that's in the gym is not the strongest guy on the field. I trained Carlos Dansby, NFL player at one point. And Carlos told me, he was like, yo, I never lifted in high school. Barely lifted anything in college because for what? He already had the skill. It was the skill and leverage in using his body that really was the key. Now, some guys have to lift to get larger, which is a point I'm about to get into. This European style training that y'all do, that everyone is doing, the kettlebell nonsense, the power lifts, and this, you guys, man, I don't understand how you can't see the detriment to this type of training. How you don't see the puffy, fluffy bodies that are just these round muscles that are for show. And yeah, come at me with that, because I will show you. Look at images of Navy SEALs, especially in buds when they just start. Look at them when they're done. These guys aren't these yoked out guys. And these are guys that protect your lives every day. Like, these are the guys that go on mission, that they need their body to function optimally. Look at athletes. Some of these athletes, they'll walk down the street and you don't even really know much of a difference, because they're not yoked out. They may be bigger, they may be larger, but they're not these yoked out guys. Look at the basketball players. Any of the athletes, their arms aren't out to the side. It's right next to their side. The lats aren't poking out. That's not what it's about. All right. To be functional, you literally have to have range of motion. All of it. You guys don't even work on range of motion. So when you use power moves like power cleans and snatches and all of that, I'm not necessarily, once again, saying that is the worst thing ever. You can use it productively. The problem is you guys rely on it. You look at it as if it's, the golden chalice, and you found and figured out the fountain of strength. That's not what that is. That is not what it is. Okay? The European style of lifting was developed in Europe for most of East Germany and all that back in the day, I guess, when they were doing these power moves and snatches and all of that. And they were still getting dusted by Jesse Owens and guys. So why would you adopt some shit that didn't help the people to beat your ass in the first place? Okay, and I'm going to say something. Black people, quote unquote, because we never made that shit up, black people need to stop just following shit. You need to stop just following shit. All right? Your body type is slightly different. Within each ethnic group, there are different body types. Okay? In the European body type, in the black body type, African body type, native body type, in every ethnicity, there is a uniqueness within each group. So you have to train that body based on that uniqueness. You can't just one size fits all. Yo, everybody's doing snatches, dog. Everybody doing snatches. What? What if you develop upper body a little bit faster than you develop lower body? Then what? Then you throw an imbalance into the equation. What if the individual is what we call diesel strong? You know those country strong cats that if someone punches you in your arm, You're like, I'll stop, but he just taps you, and it's like, dog, get your heavy ass hand off of me. They just got that extra heavy hand for whatever reason. See, those are the things that you have to recognize. And those are just two small things that I just said. There are tons of different things that you have to look for in each individual, in each ethnic group. You have to understand that. Like the thing that I put up about Zion Williamson, and they sitting here talking this nonsense. One of the head guys, oh, we've never seen anything like it. He puts all shut up. Shut up. That is scary to me, because that shows me how ignorant you are with regards to how the human body is developed and designed. Okay? That shows me that you don't hang around black people. Quote unquote. You don't hang around us. You don't know nothing about us. Like I said before, that's Timmy down the street. That's Tope. That's Ira. Those are people, they exist. They exist in my community anyway. I don't know about yours, which shows me you don't hang in my community. You don't know nothing about us. And you're in charge of keeping people, getting their stuff right, and multi-million-dollar bodies that you're not fixing right? Really? That's why Steph Curry's hurt all the time. That's why Jalen Rose was hurt all the time. That's why everybody's hurt, because you guys don't understand the body type. You just throw muscles on them and say, hey, that's going to make it work. That's not how it works. There's a guy named Young Cat, track and field white guy. And I say white guy. He runs for Georgia, young kid, fast, hella fast. Runs the 400, 200, 100 actually. He runs all three of them. And everyone's, Matthew Bowling, that's his name. And everybody's talking about him. You got to understand something. His design is somewhat different, so you cannot throw all these heavy weights on him. Make sure you understand, people, what you're doing. He may be a white guy, but his body type within that ethnicity is somewhat different. That's why he's so fast. So don't be throwing all this weight on him thinking, oh, more is better. More salt in your food is not necessarily better. And each meal is different amounts of salt. So you have to look at it that way. You have to understand this is a recipe. It's a piece of art. It's not just, yo, let me get these weights and throw them on and everybody's going to be swole and strong. That's why the Kenyans is dusting your ass. You're studying them all the time, talking about all their calves and lower half is thinner, so it's lighter, and that's the reason. Shut up. Stop. Just stop. Stop with your stupid science. All right? There's science, which is truth, and then there's the bullshit that you guys come up with that is just conjecture and fucking observation that is flawed by people who don't do shit. Like, notice all the scientists are people who've never ran or never done any of the sports to any real levels, so they really don't have the true understanding of how the body functions. They just look and observe and take notes and measure. Shut it. We need to change how it's done. There's a better way to do it, all right? There's a better way of observation. So, back to the Kenyans and all that. Stop saying that. If that were the case, then the Kenyans that come here, that run track for here, should be dusting the Kenyans over there, correct? We got better everything here, don't we? If we got better everything, why aren't they better than their countrymen who don't have as much as we do, as in technology? Please explain that to me. If you're so smart and you know so much, and we got the best shoes, the best everything, the best shirts that sweat, best all of that. We have the math to train and measure this and that. Why do we still suck? Why are they still dusting you? I go back to the Usain Bolts. Everybody's saying, oh, you can't be over 6'2". You can't be. Carl Lewis was 6'2", and look how slow he got out. And you guys can go back on the tape. It's all on tape. People have been saying this for years, just like they did with the mile. Oh, the mile. You can't run a 4-minute mile. All of a sudden, somebody breaks it. Everybody's running 4-minute mile, sub 4. And you're, oh, how amazing. No, it's actually amazing that you're so stupid. You're so ignorant and you just come up with nonsense and assumptions. That's really what bothers me about this entire thing. The entire industry of fitness, which is not health, it's just show muscles. That's what they should call it. Show muscle industry, as opposed to fitness and health. All right? The entire purpose of training is to get healthier and stronger for the purpose of better performance and longevity. Healthy longevity. That's not what's happening. Cats is getting all jacked up, getting older, looking decrepit, and I don't know what to tell y'all, how you guys can't understand that what you're doing is wrong. Sylvester Stallone just did a thing, and I just did a thing on that with him saying that, you do weights, it's inevitable, you're gonna feel, worn down and broken down by the time you're 50 and 60. Nah, bruh, the way you did it, absolutely. There's a better way. There's a different way that you can do what you do and last longer and be healthier, all right? That's a completely different video. But let's go back to the Usain Bolts. So they were like 6'2", and look how slow Carl Lewis gets out. Usain Bolt, 6'5". He gets out with you and then walks away from you. Oh, he's an anomaly. Why can't you say, I just don't know. Let's see what the body can do, what the human being spirit can do. This is a possibility or probability, but not really. I wouldn't be surprised if this is possible, if these people can blah, 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 blah. It's because you really don't understand things the way you think you understand Mr. Industry and the rest of you out there that's talking all this shit. You don't get it. You don't get it. All right? There's other variables that you're not accounting for. Desire, will. You can't measure it, so you don't use it. All right? So, but that's just the immeasurables currently. I'm talking about the measurables that you're missing. We're missing measurables and just throwing, the East Germans and Europeans, their weight training makes you stronger. Yes, it does. But at what cost? At what cost? And once again, does everyone need to do the same thing? Does it develop everyone in the same way? No? Okay, then why is everyone being taught the same thing? These are questions you guys got to ask. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose? Why am I slamming my foot in the ground when I lift weights up over my head or to my shoulder? Why should my feet leave the ground and slam into the ground? Please explain to me what sport or what event ever in life are you jumping and slamming your foot into the ground? Last time I checked, vibrations, extra vibrations, and doing that kind of causes damage to the spine, especially when you have all this excess weight. It compresses it. Micro destructive type of movements and compressions. So I'm trying to figure out what the purpose of slamming your foot into the ground is for. Come on, geniuses, please explain this. I honestly would like to know, because I'm missing it. From my understanding of how the body is designed and worked, from how people motivate their body through space, running or doing whatever, no one's slamming. You have to step and move. You're not, bam. That's not a benefit to you. So why would you train your body in a way that is not necessarily beneficial for you? It's kind of like breathing, taking in a breath underwater and thinking that that's gonna help you do your swimming better. You're doing something counterintuitive, counterproductive to what the goal is. If you're tracking with me, that might not have been a great analogy, but if you're tracking with me, you're doing something counterintuitive. If you want your body to respond a certain way, hey, here's a good one. You shoot a certain way, and you want to get the ball into the net each time. You want to shoot that way every time. Every time. You want to get better to the point where it's automatic. You don't want to shoot one way to the side, and then when it comes time for you to shoot properly, now you run into, okay, now I need to do this. It doesn't work that way. Your body will automatically fall back to the thing when you're fatigued or to the thing you do the most. So why wouldn't you train in all movements in a way that would benefit you for what you do? That would mean you would have to rethink how you do your training. But why would you want to do that when you can just follow this nonsense and injure yourself? So when you're 60 and 50, if you make it that long, you're decrepit and run down with all kinds of pain. Everybody's body is different. Now back to Usain Bolt, 6'5", dusting everybody. He's an anomaly. He's not an anomaly. Is he what I would call a rarity? Yes, probably. Not an anomaly, a rarity. There's a couple of him existing and always has been. They just do different things. Basketball, different sports, different activities that actually allow them to make more money, number one. Or it's a sport that is more prevalent in that society. You go overseas to Africa and you see, I cannot remember, I just did a post on this. I think it's the Maasai. I'm not sure. I think it's the Maasai. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They jump. They do the ritual jumps. I have an image where this guy, his hops is insane. They don't play basketball, but his hops is out of control, because that's their cultural thing. So in America, our thing is to play basketball because our thing is about surviving and making money and getting out the hood and blah, 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 blah. So we put our energy into things that bring that. So cats with the athletic ability to be able to do that, they gravitate towards what does that. In Jamaica, we don't have that. We don't have basketball. We have cricket. We have track and field, and we have soccer. All right? That's it. Usain Bolt had limited options. Track and field. Didn't like it. Most of us don't. But we're good at it. So he ran, did well, and what happens, happens. 6'5" athletic individual, boom. If that were the case here, that would be happening as well. So just stop speaking out your mouth about shit you don't get. Stop just talking. Look at the greater picture. Look at things without just following what everyone's saying and just, this thing about, oh, I read it in a book and shut up. Experience some shit. Live some shit in life and experience some shit. Think about what you're doing. Just don't do a thing. Think about it and get in depth into why. That's the biggest question no one's asking, is the why. And I don't get that. Why wouldn't you be curious about things? And all these experts running around talking this, stop listening to these experts. I'm telling you, they are not experts. They're experts in lying or something like that, but not truly in understanding how this magnificent thing works. As an artist, I'm lucky. I was blessed to have that ability. I was blessed to be able to draw and look at details and functions and why this and why that. I asked those questions since I was a kid. Why is the tree designed this way? Why did blah, blah, blah? Why does the leaves come out? But there's a why behind everything for me. So when I started being an athlete, I was wondering, why is that guy better than me? What's the function? How does he function in a way that's different from mine that allows him to be better? And those are the things that you guys need to really ask yourself and understand. All right. So, I mean, when I get back to this, the truth is, stop following all this nonsense. Okay. All this muscle means nothing. I'm telling you. You're just having it to have it. For those of you who want real health, the muscle will come. You will get the muscles, but it'll be functional. It'll be what is usable. There is such a thing as diminishing returns, so you can have too much muscle and it will slow you. There is such a thing, especially if you have it in the wrong place. Our industry, the fitness industry and the health industry, is not that. What it is a money-making machine that is designed, including the sports industry. It's designed to just go by any means and make whatever. No one's really being original with their thinking and with their developing of the human body. They think they already know everything, and that's where the problem begins. There's no rehashing or evaluation of how things were done before, previously, and how to truly make it better. There's no looking at different body types and ethnicities, such as black people, and how our bodies are designed and how they should be developed. It's very interesting to me that all these black athletes cannot even understand that. So I'm not saying that there's no one out there that can train. I had a coach, Coach Cook. Great coach, as far as I was concerned. He understood nuance. He understood nuance. He understood difference between different athletes and how to train them. Okay? He may not remember me because I wasn't one of the horses. I was one of the young little broken up thoroughbreds that just never got there. But he understood the difference and uniqueness between me and how I ran and how the rest of them ran, and how I needed to be trained somewhat different. Same, but different. I would get less of some things and more of other things because of my design and how I develop speed. So I won't go into that now, but it's things like that that needs to be brought back or brought into training, both strength training as well as just training in general. He had a better understanding. So I'm not saying everyone doesn't. I'm saying the vast, like 99% suck at it. That's what I'm saying. 99, not 98, 99% of y'all suck. You come up with this nonsense or these flawed theories that you implement them because the body's so amazing with its designs. And some of these athletes are so resilient with regards to their design that they can get away with doing things improperly and still grow. And so you think, wow, how amazing I am. You're not thinking about, wow, this person has to exist later on in life healthy and not jacked up from what I'm doing. So how can I accomplish both tasks, higher and greater performance, as well as overall healthy longevity? All right. So there's more to talk about this. I don't want to get into it too long right now. I'd love to do a podcast on it, a longer podcast or a number of episodes to get into a little bit more detail about why I think this and why I believe that the method I've come up with addresses most of the issues. It's just, when I see the Zion Williamson thing and a number of others and how people don't last as long in their sport, or I see all this cross-fitting thing with everybody jacking their body up and not being aware of that for the sake of show muscles, it needs to be said. If not for the rest, for you idiots out there who don't get what I'm saying, if not for y'all, for the young kids coming up who actually are looking to be professional athletes or perform at a high level and or to have longevity, a healthy longevity, not just longevity where you're decrepit. It's also to the older generations that feel that, oh, it's too late. It's not too late. You can be fixed. You can bring back, a lot of things that are hurting. You can fix a lot of that. The body is amazing with that. You just got to spend the time and know what you're actually trying to do, as opposed to just going in there and throwing weight for the sake of throwing weight to talk about how much weight you pushed. Okay, forget that. That's old school, that's antiquated, that's lost, it's done. All right, and last thing, for those of you who are out there, I had another post on some lady running on a treadmill. By the way, can you put that it's a Woodway treadmill, please? Give them their props. The treadmill is bomb. Even though I don't like treadmills personally, I call them conveyor belts. They actually have produced some of the best ones. When I had my gym opened up and I was looking at it, I was looking for them. And that's not a plug for them. I'm not getting paid no money, any money for that. I'm just saying it is what it is. This lady was running on it, and her running style was this swimming, running, muscling type of running. And they were calling it some kind of, everyone gives themselves this amazing name about whatever movement. And this is how you're supposed to do it. That's not how you're supposed to run, people. Check it out, my video on that. There was another doctor of performance that is on there, and he was doing this running thing. Please, people who do not do a thing well, or do a thing who haven't really experienced it, stop listening to them. Book readers are not necessarily the best people to help you with a thing that is a doing thing, a physical doing thing. You have to do it to truly understand it. All right? You got to remember that. Not everyone who does it understands it, but for those who really get it, they had to have done it as well. Not only read it, but truly have done it. That's where there's a disconnect. There's a combination that needs to happen that hasn't happened until me. Or there's probably another one or two of us out there. I haven't met them, but they're missing a lot of things. You're missing the breathing. You're missing the sequence of how to breathe. You're missing the control. You're missing a lot of little details that actually matters in the long run. And stop worrying about these big muscles. It'll happen as a byproduct of doing things correctly. So anyway, I made that too long, longer than I wanted to. We'll have more talks on that. But until then, thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you agree or disagree, really don't care. Kind of do. Kind of want to hear what you have to say. So it'll help with this discussion going on the proper way. All right. Thanks a lot. Talk to you guys later. The term race is a false construct created to manipulate individuals into believing that they're separate. We do have culture. We do have ethnicity. We do have differences. But the differences, just like the differences on the planet or the earth we live on, are for our benefit. It's the differences that bind us. It's the differences that make us better. If we use those differences as a watch uses each independent and unique gear, we will use it properly and work accordingly. Stop listening to a term that was created for division.